Hey all, Ron here from Military Images Magazine with a new episode of Life on the Civil War Research Trail. On this Juneteenth, I wanted to take a look at the general order behind the day that we're commemorating, the day that is now a federal holiday. It's General Order number 3, and it was issued by this man here, Major General Gordon Granger in Galveston, Texas, on June 19th, 1865. It's easy to find, and most folks recognize this as the key document behind Juneteenth. But as I looked into it, I realized that Granger also issued that same day General Orders number 4. And together, General Order 3 and General Order 4 work together. They're interconnected. General Order number 3, the gist of it is to get everybody back to work. Of course, slavery is now ended. Enslaved people are free. So let's get everybody back to work. So let's not mince words here. It's about the economy. Let's get the economy back on track. General Order number 4 is really about law and order, ending the Confederacy and getting back to the United States and law and order. They're not long documents, and I want to read both of them to you because it'll give you a flavor of the economy and the law and order and the need to get that back on track just as soon as possible. So here we go. We'll start with General Orders number 3. Quote, the people of Texas are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that of employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts and that they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere, by order of Major General Granger. So that's number 3. Now, let's take a look at General Order number 4. Here we go. Quote, all acts of the governor and legislature of Texas since the ordinance of secession are hereby declared illegitimate. All military and civil officers and agents of the so-called Confederate States government or the state of Texas and all persons formally connected with the Confederate States Army in Texas will at once report for parole at one of the following places or such others as may be designated hereafter to the proper United States officers to be appointed: Houston, Galveston, Bonham, San Antonio, Marshall, and Brownsville. Although their long absence from their homes and the peculiar circumstances of their state may palliate their desertion from their organizations, this order will be strictly and promptly complied with. The above mentioned and all other persons having in their possession public property of any description whatever, as arms, horses, munitions, etc., formerly belonging to the so-called Confederate States or state of Texas, will immediately deliver to the proper United States officer at the nearest of above mentioned places. When they cannot carry it and have not the means of transporting it, they will make to the same officer a full report of its character, quantity, location, security, and etc. All persons not complying promptly with this order will be arrested as prisoners of war and sent north for imprisonment and their property forfeited. All lawless persons committing acts of violence, such as banditti, guerrillas, jayhawkers, horse thieves, and etc., are hereby declared outlaws and enemies of the human race and will be dealt with accordingly by order of Major General Granger. So there you have it. Two really powerful orders issued by General Granger. The first, get the enslaved people who are now freedmen, get them back to work, and change the economic system to a hired labor situation. There's a lot to unpack there, and that would take a long time to get that set up. But Granger, under orders from Washington, D.C., was determined to get that going. General Order 4, the Confederate States, the state of Texas, any jurisdiction they had, any connection to the Ordinance of Secession was suspended. It was over. All those former officers and others connected with the effort had to turn in their government property / state property, report in, and I assume, according to Granger, get back to a normal, peaceful existence in the United States. So there you have it today. On Juneteenth, a look at those two really important general orders that are interconnected. We'll see you on the next episode. Until then, take care.